So they should hear you.
Can you guys hear us?
Dennis?
I hear you.
He was in the meeting, but I don't see him. I'm gonna say try again.
It's just a go 5 numbers.
I'm making that statement.
So
We don't need this video.
Statement. I'm making. Oh, I think I'm making. That was
Definitely
supposed to be
going to be
beginning.
on.
Okay.
Presentation.
But I was going to make that statement.
So it's not that pointing back to us.
No, it always does. Does it always?
No, because it's only this thing.
Oh, Eric,
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties. I know, technical difficulties. Does it always look like that?
It should be back here, right?
No,
Or this thing.
this is playing to that.
So how do you take that off though? So it's not on my face. So normally it shows the whole table.
Oh, come on, Brian. You're better looking than most of us. I hate having my face up there.
Your face is handsome. You're good.
I'm a mean old man. Self-identify as 84.
We have one.
Oh,
Because that's how I feel when I wake up in the morning.
I don't know who these two are, but I should
That
let
one
them
of
in.
them.
I've got a 480. I don't know who that is.
There we go.
Maybe, isn't it?
I mean, is it you?
Yeah, you guys can hear me now?
Is that Dennis?
That's Jaime's 480.
Okay. Jaime's got
Yeah.
a 209. Just still can't hear him. You know what the volume is on this?
No, but you should. Are you guys messing it up?
Yes.
Today? Trying to get Jaime, Dennis, and maybe the
One needs to come in, but where's the video over there instead
Hi,
of this one?
this one? What video? The owl video?
Yeah. And that 805 must be.
That's Dennis.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis, that you? I can't hear anybody on here.
Can't hear anybody.
Is the group?
This is Dennis. You said you couldn't hear. How about now?
Dennis, we got you now.
Great, thank you.
Do we have Jaime and Dennis?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't hear them, but.
The only way to, I don't know if the.
I don't care so much about that, but we can't hear their voices out here.
Can you hear them over there?
I mean, can you talk now?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now? Hey, can you guys hear me or no?
Hello? Like that?
How about now? Is that better now?
There we go. Dennis, you there?
This.
I am here. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay,
Everybody's good?
okay, we're good.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay, welcome everyone. I'd like to open up the Board of Directors meeting for MLCC at 1:34. We have Steve Ekstrand on video on Zoom. We have Jaime and Dennis on phones. And Mr. Dave Stanley is no longer with us. He has officially resigned and is now, him and Francine are very happily making a new adventure in Washington. And we thank him greatly for all of the work and everything that he did for us. Okay, so we'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Start us, Brian?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay. So next is the approval of the board minutes.
Did we get the FaceTime or the Facebook working?
Was that how old boy is in no?
He's coming in, I think.
It's on.
It says
It shows live stream. It'll show puppies again.
In technology.
It's on there.
That should be good, right?
Technical difficulties.
I mean, I think
We
I think
ask
it's
your
working.
patience. They just show up. I know that. No, we're trying to bring in
I mean, it
Facebook
looks like
right
it's
now.
working. You see?
You're saying, you know.
Pardon me.
It looks like it's
I
working.
think so.
Okay.
We'll make up for this. We'll speak faster, I promise.
Mr. Extra, I don't know if you noticed it too. Mr. Extra, can you see the Facebook Live?
No, but I'm getting I can't get the post up on my phone, and I'm getting a member who says that he can't see it.
Oh, he's probably gonna just. It's going.
Okay, perfect. So next is the approval of the board minutes. Sam,
Yes, motion to approve MLCC Board of Directors session minutes of September 30th, 2023.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion to approve special Board of Directors meeting minutes of October 16th, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And motion to approve special Board of Directors meeting executive minutes of October 16th, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All those have approved. Minutes are approved.
Users right now on Facebook are saying that there's nothing.
All right.
We are very sorry. Modern technology is not our friend today.
What's that?
Okay, so next we're going to move on while we're trying to fix this. I'm sorry, to our Facebook friends at this time. We have member comments. Eric?
Nobody wants to come up. I have one quick. This was
Okay.
sent to me from Bill Aldridge. I'm writing you to express my concern and disappointment on two proposals to be voted on, listed on the Board of Directors agenda for Saturday, October 28th. First one is motion to approve food minimum with adding alcohol as recommended by the Finance Committee. And number two, motion to approve new house guest fee of renter pass fees for the use of the pool, bocce ball, tennis, and pickleball courts at $50 per month or $550 for the year. If such a pass is purchased, in this respect, if they have this card, they can use it as a use it up here in the dining room. Can't charge against it, but they would go against the homeowner's food minimum. They come up and use it as a rent. That's on there. So on the first item, This discussion has gone on for several years, and in my opinion, came down to two main issues. A food minimum is an expectation of our membership to support the use of our dining room, keep the amenities going, keep the amenity going. If members do not support the restaurant because of alcohol credits, food prices will rise and the amenity will require additional budgeted financial support. This is a typical issue with all clubs and why they don't not allow alcohol to be included in the food minimum. And then the second point on that was allowing members to use alcohol purchases to the credit food or for the food minimum implies MLCC expects the member to drink or eat all the food minimum by the end of the year. As such, most country clubs and GM's legal counsel and board directors do not want to be liable for alcoholic related damages, incidences, accidents, or death caused by the need to drink their food minimum. And then on the second one on the renter pass, I acknowledge Davis Sterling, California Constitution have documented rules pertaining to transferring some of the landlord's benefits to the common interest development, which addresses condominiums, apartments, and cooperative housing. However, MLCC has been very careful to follow these laws and to such, through legal counsel, have updated and incorporated them into our governing documents. While I was on the board of directors, we were inundated with members' complaints of all the people using our pool and not being about to even find a place to set our things. We also experienced multiple issues with non-members using the pool and literally causing verbal and physical confrontations with members. I have personally attended several show cause hearings where we called in landlords to take responsibility for their tenants, to have the landlord just basically say they cannot be responsible for their tenants' behavior or damage. I would expect with all the expected non-residents in our pool and other areas, we will need a certified lifeguard on duty at all times to manage these people. Who pays for these employees? How long is the pool open? One shift or two? Will we need two more staff to oversee the tennis and pickleball courts? Or is this plan to just trust these non-members? The issue for every member who uses the pool, the tennis and pickleball courts, bocce ball, is that we do not need to promote more people using these limited amenities by lowering the cost by 40%. In addition, to add fuel to the fire, this proposal includes a provision to have the tenant purchase food and possibly drink and have it credited towards the landlord's food minimum. We don't need this. It's very small writing, so I apologize. We do not need absent landlords and a bunch of rental units in this community. We need members. I just cannot believe our club would propose a rule which provides landlords with a financial benefit and incentive to market their properties and purchase even more properties. Why would we purposely disregard our beautiful country club? I've calculated on a normal year we spend about $17,000. This is billed personally to maintain our house, pay dues, insurance, utilities, etc. If our home was not paid for, the number would be closer to $30,000 or more. We are promised being a member in good standing to have access to all of our amenities. Last year or twice we had family members fly down to spend a week of vacation. Of course, our pool was closed. Before that, we were in COVID. Members just spent a lot of money replacing valves, pumps, and heaters to ensure the pool is running. If MLCC causes members' amenities to become unacceptable due to the non-resident members using it, no less than we will get an uproar of people and members, finger pointing, and perhaps something more serious requiring legal counsel and litigation. Please table this discussion and we take a deeper dive into evaluate the potential risk to our healthy clubs. So these are very serious. I recommend that opening a box marked extremely dangerous without first being prepared to deal with the outcomes of this. In addition, I think it's bad from these proposed rule changes are being pushed through without any detailed explanations 1 week before the entire membership is present. Not a good look for the board.
Okay, and then I also have one, and this is and also a concern. This comes from Mari and Ken Schoenfeld. I am concerned and need for better understanding why the board would consider reducing or eliminating the food minimum for owners of rental properties when they purchase a pass to access our club amenities for their renters. Isn't the purpose of a food minimum to support our food and beverage department? If so, why are we shorting the revenue stream from our F&B and applying fees that have nothing to do with F&B? If a member wants to rent their properties, they should face the same requirements as all members, full-time, weekenders, and seasonal. Why are we making special concessions for a non-resident member? They opted to use their property as a business opportunity. Accordingly, the food minimum is a business expense which they can write off. As a resident members, we have no options, nor do we gain any other benefits to compensate us for the revenue loss. It is even more unfair for the part-time members, the snowbirds, the weekenders, and seasonals, who still must meet the food minimums within a shorter time frame. I would think that it would be illegal to not apply our fees equitably to all members. Is this the board we voted to represent us as a community, or are you representing a special interest group? Between this proposal and including alcohol beverages towards the food minimum, how much will the reduction of dining service impact our already struggling F&B revenue stream? How much of an increase will we face on our dues and food minimums to compensate for the shortfall? Well, first of all, I'd like to let everyone know this was not the board's idea. This was brought to the board for us to discuss and to make a decision on. This really wasn't something that we all sat here and put together. And we have had an awful lot of discussion, and there has been an awful lot of member input that we have all listened to. And at this present time, we have decided this will be tabled until we can do some more due diligence. And I truly believe that this was brought to the board in the beginning as a revenue builder rather than what it has kind of turned out to be. And I think that Eric would agree with me in that statement.
Well, I gotta say, I presented it to the finance committee and to the pool direct, but we have it in place now. It's $1,000 for the year, and we just haven't been selling any of those. So that's where the revenue builder came into play. But I hear some of the members here, but it was $70 for 2 weeks or $1,000 free. So it's in place.
Okay,
That's what.
Sandra?
This discussion also took place in the member communications committee for a number of different reasons. One is that there are a lot of renters, and there is one
End it
renters
and start over?
upstairs.
That's the only way
Most of us who
Facebook will
live here
start.
year round or live here a lot of the year spend far more than the $480. And if you want to look at revenue building, those people who don't live here, who just write that check at the end of the year for the
Just stay like we can
480,
see it.
you have an opportunity here of having renters come up and spend more. So that was the revenue building side, both what Eric is saying and the fact of increased and
I'm gonna do it.
better use of the food minimums, better use of food
No.
purchases, better use of food costs in the restaurant. That was part of what was the idea.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, because it's kind of like the old saying about the butts in the seat, more food. Peggy?
I think maybe to use tenants, come up and use things more as far as the restaurant are. It's maybe more advertising to tenants than it is a bill. If I don't know if they get their packet and all of that, if they know that they can use the bar and restaurant And if you wanna look to increasing the revenue, maybe to a tenant, you give a 5% discount or something like that. And I definitely don't, taking whatever they use to apply against the owners, responsibility, because you're taking away, I think, revenue. Already are getting a 480 or whatever they spend is on top of that. Now you're gonna take that and put it in.
Rick, do you want to respond?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misconception about what the purpose of this is. Primarily to get the renters involved and get their information. And Peggy said, well, we should, send stuff out to them, but offer them 5% or this or that. We don't have any email addresses for these people. We don't know where they are.
Whose fault is that?
You can't compel an owner to share the information with us. We have a bunch of rental properties here that we don't know what rental properties. There's a lot of yeah, you would have to wait. So you just send it to them. Yeah, but they don't all comply. The whole purpose of this reducing the annual was to put a carrot on the stick with you do this if you make sure you register your renters with us, then you will allow them to fill your $480. Now they still have the $480. We're not losing any revenue from food mounds. It's still there. I don't foresee the problem with this. We're not selling them at $1,000 because nobody's going to pay $1,000.
I'll be happy to knock on doors and find out.
That would be helpful, but
You have to do the legwork, okay? You just can't sit on our behinds and expect people to just come forward. If you want to do the work, well then let's get some volunteers and canvas our community.
I'm reminding everybody it's been tabled.
Yes, it has. Yes, and we actually.
Folks, hey, this has been tabled, so there's no more discussion on this, okay? We're going to look at it, do our due diligence, and we'll come up with an answer. But I can tell you this much, it's not looking good for this. So, but the other thing I want to stress is that everybody thinks this is the board bringing this up. It's not. These come from different committees. Okay, we look at them and we make a decision, whether it's a yay or a nay or a table. So that's what we're doing, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that these are not board decisions and boards looking. We're just.
And Sam, one of the things I constantly try to remind people is this is not a subject for an executive session. This is stuff that can only be discussed at an open business meeting. So it's sausage being made and it's messy. And you say, well, the board is not coming out here. I haven't made my decision on this. I'm listening to you guys and I'm learning stuff. This has not been thoroughly hashed out in executive session because it's illegal to do so. Regardless of what prior boards here have done, we are trying to do our best to follow the law.
So that is why it has now been tabled, and we will spend much more due diligence to and speak with all of the committees again and the membership. We love your comments and we appreciate it very much, but we really are not making a choice on this today. We are just moving on. Okay.
Yeah.
That will come up later.
So it does not include.
That, yes.
Just wondered, Sam, did you get my request to address the board today?
No, I did not, Phil.
Let's chat.
Jack.
Oh, sorry, Jack. No, I did not.
We did not. Would you like to address us today?
I would have liked to have started out for this, got to where it is now. Since it's tabled, is it too late?
Yeah, it's too late.
It's still
It's still open comments, so go ahead.
Thanks a lot. I wanted to address the members that don't have an opportunity to go to the finance committee and any board members that didn't have an opportunity to go. as a member for the last few years, during the budget cycle, we always look to assist the managers to put together a realistic budget. Once we do that, we look for what I call unrealized income. Unrealized income means it's out there, it's available. We just haven't lifted a finger or done the legwork, or I might say, to go do it. So that's why the finance committee put together ideas, and there was much discussion about both of these. I'll start with the alcohol one. There was merits on both sides of the equation. F&B will suffer. Maybe we get people up here that come at a happy hour time. I know a lot of people go to happy hours, I do. I rarely, 80–90% of the time, get food. So it gives us an opportunity to bring someone up here that maybe has past grievances, maybe doesn't like what they've seen the last time they've come up and eaten, and maybe give them ability to try the food and get them moving. One thing about this that is not written down that I thought we agreed to and we should, is that this was a test case. One season, November 1st to October 1st. The reason being is both sides of the equation had good ideas on what should be tracked. One of them was food sales. If food sales suffers, it's a failure. If participation suffers, it's a failure. Those were the two things that were going to be looked at and try to decide, was this a good idea or not? Now, I'm not going to say yes or no, but at least we were trying to capture unrealized income to help us all in the new scenario. That's the whole business thing. The second one is the same thing. It's all along the same line. It was supposed to be broken up into two sections. The first section was the card and the cost. And the reason for the card and the cost was, as I think Rick said, the dues are still paid by the owner. This was capturing unrealized income again. A small amount to start with to see what type of production would come with that card. Realizing that we don't want to not have members use the pool, but I know we have sneak-ins. I know we have renters that do not understand what's up here. Using my block as an example, I have 2 brand new renters. I asked them what their landlords told them. Nothing. 0. So they're not registered, is my feeling. Maybe they are, I have not checked, so don't want to take it that far. But they know nothing about what's here. If they're registered and we have an email, we can get a hold of them to give them what the F&B is doing that way. Not what MLCC is doing, but what is the F&B doing? What can they participate in that might get them up here more, as the idea of people in the seats or capturing that unrealized income. So 2 things is the wording needs to be bifurcated because I thought that would be agreed upon. The second was the wording for using the card from a renter to a food minimum was only for long term. It was supposed to cap out short term. So if somebody's here for a month and they have a short term card, they're not using it towards the long term food minimum. It was supposed to be that 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. So we need to get that wording strong. Like you all said, this might be the words are a little put together, missing a few things in my opinion. But the idea was your FCC through the budget process is trying to do the best we can to capture unrealized income before we raise dues. So mainly that was where we stood. See if I missed wording clarification right here, but that's about it. So I appreciate the opportunity to address the members that can't come to the FCC and the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Which is just another reason that it was taken.
Yeah.
Because we still have to look deeply into this.
Exactly.
And I like that Jack brought up something that in the finance committee we discussed that maybe that should be bifurcated into 2 separate proposals. One about the fee structure and the other about the whether we allow charging or not.
Okay, well, we will discuss this further and make it much more, there will be much more clarity after this is tabled for a while and we can do our due diligence to put it before the memberships again. And
Susan,
thank you
just
very
real
much.
fast. I misspoke. I said charging. We never considered allowing renters to charge. It was just whether it was credited towards the account, reduce the minimum, not no charging ever.
Right, you're right, Steve. Thank you. Okay, general manager's report.
So I'm going to start off before I get the financial update. We hired a new facilities manager, Brian Babcock. I will announce more about his background and everything in the upcoming newsletter, but very happy with his first 2 weeks. The way he's managed the staff and working to make us a better and safer place. After sharing some of the projects the board has been working on, discuss like the dog park with them, the dumbwaiter, handicap parking, he'll be a big help. He's got a vast, he's come from the PGA West side of things at Rancho Las Palmas, and so he's been a facility manager for them for years. So we do have a little bit of background there, and I'm really excited to have Brian on board here. Financial overview for the month. Month of September was a positive financial month for the club. Net profit for the month was $31,338, better than budget. Expenses were over budget by $4,699, and revenue exceeded budget by $36,037.
Aaron, before you go, I hate to interrupt you. Did you ask who's ever on, are there people on the phone?
Yeah, I think it's Jaime and
Heavy breathing.
Heavy breathing.
Jaime and Dennis. Can you guys mute?
You can hear me. You can hear me cough on occasion.
I can hear you.
I'm already muted.
Okay.
No.
Thank you. Stop breathing.
Sorry, that's right. Thanks. Food and beverage, we were $29,972 better than budget. And at the end of September for the year to date, we're $41,740 better than budget. Golf shop was $9,398 better than budget. G&A was over budget by $6,347. That was sort of a timing thing with our our tax bill. Golf course maintenance was over budget by $83. Clubhouse, we were over budget by $1,923. Mission Lakes Inn, we had a better month this month. We were $1,859 better than budget. And pool and rec, we were below budget by $1,538. Reserves for the month of September, we spent $85,804, and at the end of the month, we had $3,188,862 in the reserves. Food and beverage happenings. November 3rd, come join us for the wine and cheese party just outside the golf shop. This is open to all members, all homeowners here. It's anybody in the association or a member, and it's free. So 3 o'clock, 3 to 5. 5 p.m. Same night, November 3rd, our opening party, casino night. This will be a fun event. We'll have 6 blackjack tables, 1 roulette table, 1 craps table, and 2 poker Texas Hold'em tables. Just a reminder to everybody, this is just for fun. It's not real money. And what prizes can you win? We're gonna have raffle prizes at the end, but for the most part, we're just gonna have a great night with it.
You have to put your own money then up front?
I'm sorry?
You have to put up your own.
No, you're gonna get some money up front. So
Monopoly money.
No money.
So you see, it's called Casino 51. Just playing off the 50-year anniversary, 51st anniversary. Could be the 52nd anniversary. Could be the 53rd anniversary. But Casino 51, that's where the name came from. Saturday, November 4th, we'll start our new menus for the season upstairs in the dining room. Our first theme night will be stir fry on November 9th. Thanksgiving Day will be serving a Thanksgiving buffet from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll also have bingo on November 9th, and November 24th, we have our first karaoke of the season. We will continue our Monday Night Football service, and this month we have we have many private events happening here at Mission Lake, so please make a reservation. It truly helps the whole group. I'm sure I'm missing a few things. We have a lot going on this month. I want to give an update on the ADA bathroom. Last month we discussed the septic tank needed to be certified. Well, we failed the certification. So I've been working with the county environmental health department, the water control board, which has been in talks with Mission Springs Water District and our vendor Action Pumping. we've all come to a conclusion, or they've come to a conclusion to help us out. Starting on Monday, and just understand that the septic tank, well, everybody knows their homes are this old, 250 years old. To make us compliant, we're going to be doing some work on it on Monday. They're not going to have us replace the tank. They're going to do some modifications to the tank, and then Action Plumbing said they will certify us to move forward. So Monday they'll be doing the work, and we're not talking about a lot of work, but the water board has approved it, and the health department, the person at the health department has approved it as well. So as long as we get the certificate, we will get the certification Monday. We'll take it to the health department and move forward. Anyways.
Yay, yay.
So moving into the comments. And I'm gonna go through a few, and then we'll talk about the next few. Wow, thanks so much to Luz and the crew for giving us an extra hour of karaoke on 9/20/09. Members are trending younger, so this was great to go late. Bike rack for the multiple members that ride their bikes to the clubhouse. No longer safe to walk through with bikes or having bikes. Oh, no longer safe to walk away from your bike. You should have a bike rack for locking and safety. People complain when we take our bikes into the pool. This is a really good point, and I think we should look into a bicycle rack. And like I said, maybe I'll get the house committee to take a look and go around. I don't know where the best place would be for a bike rack, so they're safer, but good idea there.
Good idea.
Duck Wellington was amazing, as well as the service. Good day during a recent board of directors meeting. Our board of directors agreed to send out a monthly survey question. I believe we have not had a question for the last couple of months. Is there a reason the monthly survey questions are inconsistent? Thank you. So I think I don't want to answer for the board, but I think last month we were bouncing some questions around, just never got anything out. We do have a question going out this month. It's based on theme nights, and then we have one. Hopefully we can send out mid-month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be queued up from here on out.
Okay. Received the board agenda notice, which included the announcement that only agenda items could be discussed during the member comment section of the meeting. This seems to be an attempt to stifle discussion of other matters of concern of the owners. And I did respond to this one a little bit. I think we understood a little bit more, but basically, if there's something on the agenda, the board should know about it. They should discuss it. If something pops up that the board doesn't know about, they still will feedback on it, but if they don't know anything about it, they won't discuss it.
We won't discuss it.
Now the next few is on the paint palette. Okay, and you'll see the paint palettes outside. We've had it posted out there for a while. We got sort of the suggestion or comment cards next to it. People are making comments online, which is good. We have it on our website. Nice palette, but a bit boring. Maybe consider a few brighter colors for the front doors. I have a neighbor who has an orange door, and it's very refreshing to see just a pop of color while still being in the Southwest flavor. The desert has other colors besides beige, cream, brown. We have vibrant sunsets, beautiful shadows of mountains, green foliage, colorful flowers. This palette has not evolved since the 70s when this community was established. There's no real variation, no personality, and it's boring. I'm extremely disappointed to see the beige brown town dark brown palette put together by the ACC. This community needs to be modernized. This palette is going backwards. I firmly voted no for this palette. Propose we start the 30-day review process over, as the board was generally not the palette wasn't accessible during this month because of all the renovations we've been doing. Nor was there an easy way to comment. Comment cards and pens should have been available next to the display, along with a collection box of some sort. So all these everything being discussed on the board gets them all, but the ACC will get the paint palette once as well. Let us not forget existing exterior body and trim selections such as white on white, white on brown, brown on brown. We should not assume residents know that these color combinations are available and place them as options. Many residents may assume the colors are no longer available to use. Also, we need more color variations to reflect up-to-date colors for today's homes. I think we are too focused on matching colors to existing roof tiles in the neighborhood. Up-to-date colors will have a big impact no matter the color of the existing roof. I've seen more homes in MLC. I've seen homes in MLC old reddish style roof and more up-to-date paint for body and trim. The new up-to-date color and existing tile roof seem to still pair very well together. 3 to 4 additional desert palette color combos should be sufficient to making for a well-rounded selection option. So those are comments for the month.
Okay, and those comments will go to the ACC about the paint colors and
the board.
and the
Board
board
and ACC
itself.
will get those.
Yeah. Okay. Committee reports.
Susan,
Right? Am I missing something?
Susan, no, I just wanted
Yes.
to make ask Eric a question about down in the mud pits, the pig pens of social media. There's a lot of criticism about our 1952 style comment cards, and my comment was, well, I think email works too. Is that true? As a way of members getting comments in? I mean, I know we have the comment card system, and that's what we always recommend to people. But they can send an email to you, right?
Sure, they can do it on the website as well, and it goes to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So website, email, comment cards.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we have reached at least maybe 2012. Something like that.
I think most of those comments are from email, right?
Yeah, these last few were from email.
And actually, the communications committee is working on new comment cards.
We've updated them somewhat to indicate a check off whether it's. People tend to use the comment cards as complaint cards. So we've added some boxes and the new ones are out there that need to be added online where it's critique, suggestion, comments to kind of refocus thinking of what you're doing when you're filling a card out. I think we also have them on color cards now too, so they're more visible. And we're going to update the website one, which is from the main page under under contact us. Scroll down on that page. There's a comment card there.
So we are working to make sure that everyone's comments are getting to us. Okay, so agricultural control committee.
Architecture,
Architectural.
agricultural, architectural, same thing.
No agriculture here.
ACC.
We're growing stuff over here.
No more than 3 chickens.
What's that? Chickens. Yes, we are. The ACC first item. The ACC has brought to the board a motion for the approval of 3 new committee members. We'll go through them one at a time. The first one motion from the ACC. The motion is to approve Nicholas Hacker.
Second.
Okay, I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Next name that has been brought is Larry Tupper.
Can I
I'll
have
second.
a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And the last name is Jim Nelson as an alternate voting member.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a comment real quick, Mike. While you're not answering, I don't appreciate it because when there's a problem with people that want to join any committee whatsoever, if they're in good standing, they have the right to belong on a committee. And that's why you should. Yeah.
We understand that. Thank you. And we are answering. So how are we? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Steve.
All those against?
Nay.
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 I'm sorry, the motion has not passed.
Isn't it in the bylaws that if you're a member here, good standing, that you can be on the committee?
It is.
Whether the board has nothing to do with maybe voting in that, but it would be a non-voting member on the committee, you cannot keep a person off the committee. Yeah, that's according to bylaws.
This says as an alternating voting member, so maybe
No, it
that's.
says non-voting member.
Alternate.
Anybody who's on there is a voting member.
Everybody that's on that isn't,
Alternates.
isn't.
They're alternates, correct? But anybody who's on a committee is a voting member or potentially a voting member.
Then you have 7, and that includes Don Gray as chair. 1, and then you have 6.
If they don't show up.
And then you have your alternates. So it's a committee of 7.
Can I clarify on that?
Plus.
So that if somebody does not show up,
If someone does not show up, then the alternates step forward.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is. So that's the clarification here.
So you're saying no to all 3?
So you can't be a member?
No, just Jim.
Not as an alternate voting member.
Everybody is an alternate who's not voting. So they can be a voting member if there are short of enough people to,
And
Exactly.
and the chair decides to make. It's
Exactly.
not a designation as an alternate voting member.
Correct.
It's either an alternate member or a voting member.
Exactly.
So the request was for to make Jim Nelson an alternate. And again, by the bylaws, there's no reason for us to say no. That's right.
Absolutely not. Ugly behavior.
Excuse me?
Alternate voting members.
All voting members are what?
I don't know if that's accurate. That's all.
I'm not sure if that's accurate either. There is a further discussion that
Those two you can table.
Mhm.
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
listen. As far as I'm concerned, we've already voted. Let's move on.
Well, you can't, you gotta go by the
Yes.
bylaws too, whether you like it or not.
we
Yeah,
will take.
is it the bylaws? I thought it was only the board policy manual.
Oh, the bylaws.
It's in section 3 as well.
It's in,
It also says that the committee can remove a member, and it doesn't say remove a member even in good standing for cause.
we will table this until next month, until we can
But it
do.
is my opinion
more
that we
discussion
should put
about
him
it.
on, because we always put on members in good standing. That's what we do. That's what we say we do.
Well, that's not what we did this time. All right.
If he's not, if any of these people are not a member in good standing, yes, you have the right to refuse. But we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, so tabling it to get further clarification might be the best way to go.
That is the
Agreed.
very best way to go,
Agreed.
because unfortunately, the membership does not know what goes on behind closed doors.
Great song, by the way.
So
Yeah.
to clarify, the first two were approved, Nicholas Hacker, Larry Tupper, and the third, Jim Nelson, has been tabled.
Jim Nelson will be tabled till next month.
Got it. As opposed to any votes.
Ask for the reasons for the names. Jim Nelson.
No,
You can't.
no.
Personnel.
He's not a paid person.
It's under the board of ethics. Yes, no, that I understand.
The executive meetings cannot be talked about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so following that, we have the condominium association.
We do have,
Oh,
sorry, the
Oh, I'm
report.
sorry,
The only report that we had, there was no meeting this month for the ACC. So there is no report. Paint is obviously something that's going on, but that's ongoing. So that's all.
Okay, and do we have Mike Livingston with us?
You are Mike.
I am. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Eric, I didn't realize that you hired Brian Babcock to be your. That's wonderful. I had Brian working for me many years ago, and he's going to be a wonderful, talented person for your staff. So congratulations to the board and you members for having Brian with you. I didn't know that, so that's great. The condos are an integral part of your community, a great history down there. They are a community on the move. They're always doing something down there. They're going to be having a welcome back party for their members sometime in November. They're still in the planning stages. Their annual meeting will be held in December, so they have a lot going on like you do. The clubhouse here looks great. I haven't heard that yet. The painting here and everything. I know you guys are always doing something. So when I saw it when I walked in. It looks really good. Again, the condos are in the planning stages right now with budgeting and their reserve study process for 2024, like most HOAs are. And we are trying to get ahead of the 8 ball. We hear these terrible things on the news, like it's going to be a wet season. So we are trying to get ahead of our roofing maintenance, and we have that scheduled for early in 2024. We would also like to get our spa and our pool deck refurbished as early in the year as, if we can squeeze it in at the end of this year, we'd like to do that too. But there's just, like you said, a whole lot going on with everybody coming back, and your club is really looking great here in the front. I saw them planting all the flowers here the other day, and so great. Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you very much. Ken?
Oh, I'm sorry. My friends at the back asked me a question about the presence of the sheriff on the property. We have seen them not quite as much as we would like to see them. We are trying to entice them with please. That's funny. But no, we striped a couple of parking spaces, I think this morning. I haven't been down to see them yet. To have 2 or 3 vehicles right up in front. So as soon as people drive in, they see vehicles and drive right back out. The presence of them is everything. One of the things that we had talked, they're in the middle of another personnel of the people that we communicate with to institute the program. He had asked me, the highway patrol going to be involved in this? And I had heard that when I first came in. My response was anybody with a badge. Anybody with a badge in a patrol car, the more streets they drive around in here, the better. And we'd take them on a tour and show them every street, give them every map. Their presence is integral, I think, to the safety and security of all of them. So we're all on the same page for that. So as soon as they can do that, that's it.
I had a nice chat with a member who lives in the condos last night, and he said that the proportion of full-time homeowners is greater now in the condos than there has been, which is awesome, rather than rent. But he also mentioned that a lot of people, like the problem we had discussed earlier, are not aware that the facilities can be, the restaurant can be. So
you mean by the homeowner? We have had quite a few sales. I've been here just about 2 years now, and unbelievable amount of sales down there in the last few years. And one of the things that one of our realtor homeowners told us was we are just about now 50-50 full-time homeowners, less rentals. So that's a great thing. The property values are up, and we like to see that. And the homeowners that are down there are, I mean, you see how many new homeowners come in, and they're loving the place. So we want to keep that going. So thank you. You're not going to let me go back. You're not going to let me go.
Just to follow up on what you just was. Do you have contact information for your renters? Do you establish that when a homeowner has a renter?
Most of the people are very diligent about that, and that's a traditional thing. But we try to try to keep that going. Yeah.
So it'd be nice to work with Eric if you could for our F&B emails to go to your rental rather than your homeowner. Which would be, if you could consider it.
I'll give Eric any information he needs. Wonderful guy to work with. Cool. Yeah. It's because of that smile, Eric. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I always appreciate when you come up with our meetings.
Finance and Credit Committee.
All right, we have, I'd like to make a motion to approve checks over 1,000 from operations and reserve accounts for September 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any nays? Motion's carried.
And I'd like to make a motion to approve the finance and credit report for September 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there
Aye.
any nays? Motion carried.
Okay, we're going to table the guest fee discussion, right?
Yes.
And then do we want to do the cart and trail fees here or in new business?
It was in new business.
It's under new business now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything else, Steve?
No, we're basically fine. The budget is finalized. And I can go ahead and make sort of this a little bit public. We're sitting right now, we're still in negotiations with the labor union, and there's still some issues with employee health insurance. So the final budget number is not locked down 100%, but we have some pretty good estimates and we have a range. And our guess right now is that with our current association dues of 426, that we're going to be sitting on about $170,000 deficit in our budget for next year. And the recommendation that's going to come out of the finance committee, although that's not a final vote, hasn't been taken yet, but we all agreed to it, and it was unanimous, I believe. But we'd agreed to table it to try to give a little more time to shore up those other numbers, just to make sure we didn't get blindsided. And that we would present the final budget to the board for the November 18th meeting. The recommendation was that right now we're sitting somewhere around like an estimate that we're going to end up being about $260,000 ahead of budget this year. We also have more operating cash in the fund. We're probably going to have enough cash to set aside to fully fund an operating a capital fund for future capital expenditures. And we also should have enough money to pay down that $170,000 shortfall in the budget for next year. So our recommendation is going to be a zero increase on dues. We're going to hold the line at 426. And of course, that'll go for the board for a final vote. But I just think that I felt like it would be insulting to ask for an increase, even though we have a budget shortfall, when we're sitting on so much excess cash. The board, the club, I don't think has ever been in the kind of position to have the cash, the resources on hand that we have. We're almost $3.2 million in reserves. We're sitting, I believe it was like, I forget what the final number was, like over $1 million in operating. You know, I'm working with David Cadillo to constantly buy $1 million and $1.5 million treasury bills at 5.5% interest. You know, we're in a position of actually trying to figure out what to do the best way to manage our cash, as opposed to the best way to delay paying our bills. So that's a really nice position to be in. And when you're in that position, I think it's insulting to the membership to go ask for more money. The caveat is I want people to understand that we did grow the budget. So in future years, we can't run a budget deficit. So it's just that we're flush with cash now, and we can make it next year just fine. It might even be for 2 years. I mean, we're in a very good position right now, but the future, it's not always going to be that way. So just don't get used to a good thing. This year should be a good thing. Don't get used to that. That's all I'm saying. You got to be realistic. So, but the budget process went extremely well, and I'd really like to applaud our finance committee and budget participants. It was an extremely smooth deal, and I got to thank prior members of the finance committee that are no longer with us, like Connie Presson and Courtney Moe. I got to thank also of course the current on there, Jack Peterson, just does a fantastic job for us. And Bill Aldridge, I got to take my hands off to Bill Aldridge, who worked very hard to turn the finance committee around and has put in place a system that we followed this year to a T that went extremely well. So thanks to all those people. I don't take credit for this. It's our committee, and it's the people who laid the groundwork for us.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, thank you very much, Steve.
Katie's got a question.
Ah,
I have a question, Steve.
okay.
May I ask, as he brought it up, and it has to do with the union negotiation. Because on that health plan, the last time we negotiated with the union, we got away from paying for their health plan and got those union members to accept the MLCC health plan, which saved us a lot of money. So, Steve, my question to you is, are we going back and negotiating in favor of the union, or are we holding firm to require those members to accept our own plan?
I believe that will be answered by Eric.
So I'll answer that. Well, our medical plans have skyrocketed over what their plan is. It's just in discussions right now of not going back to their plan. It's just their plan's going to save MLCC money now for the 1 year. So that's where we're at.
So their plan is now less than.
Less than our
If we
By
start
far.
Looking at our plan, we'll.
So we did go out at our plan. Well, we can look at our plan. They have a better plan than we do, but it's this
Usually
year
more
it's
cost.
less. I know, and I can tell you being in other places, but this year it's a lot. It benefits MLC.
Okay.
But this is still just in negotiations.
Yeah, and it was, I can tell you, it was so much better that it caused Mr. Cadillo and Mr. Karros to go look into, I think, 2 or 3 other options for healthcare for our employees, because it's gosh, what's going on here that we can't get a deal that even comes close to what the union is able to get. So it's I'm kind of jealous of the union plan right now. Remember, our getting away from it was more about pension than it was healthcare, but healthcare was definitely a part of it.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for that question, Eddie. Okay, moving on, we have golf committee liaison Jaime. And I see Shelley. Thank you, Shelley.
There we go.
Okay, we talked about entering the 20th century and the 21st century, and the golf shop and WGA, MGA has now entered the 21st century. Golf Genius has been launched. So Golf Genius is our new tournament and league platform. It will feature live scoring for all MGA, WGA, and MLCC events, plus the Friday Scramble and Ladies and Men's Day events. I will give you an example of how it works. The member tournament for both men and women in December will have one member, usually, in a foursome that will have on their phone scoring for that foursome. Someone else in that foursome will be having the hard copy, so you can verify the scores. Those scores on the phone go immediately to a computer up here, and you'll be able to see it'll be all done. So we don't have to sit there and wait for David or anybody else to start writing in the scores and taking the time. The other advantage of it is too, if you're playing in the President's Cup or the Senior Club or a Club Championship, you'll be able to follow the leaderboard too of those people. So you can see, I got to make a birdie on this hole, or they made a double. Good. I can afford to kind of move along a little bit better. So the Golf Genius is available on your phones from whatever app store that you have, and you just download it. It's free. Of course, the golf shop is paying for it, but for you, it's free. So please do that.
I work on flip phones?
Yeah, flip phones. Yeah, I think you need a little better than that, Larry.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, carrier pigeon. You can also take photos as you're playing. If you're in a foursome or a twosome, or you're out there in a tournament and someone gets a hole-in-one, you take a picture and the picture will automatically come up here. So as you're coming up here, you'll be able to see so-and-so got a hole-in-one, and it's just actually going to be really cool. It's a really cool system. Excuse me. So download the Golf Genius app. It looks like a T with a ball. It's got an orange background. You can't miss it. You're going to be receiving 2 emails. One saying that you signed up and you do sign up for a tournament, and the next one it will say you've been accepted. So you'll see that. Now, with the Memorial Tournament 2 weeks ago, this coming Monday, we had 12 foursomes already signed up. 11 of them signed up on the Golf Genius app. So we're moving in that direction, which is really good to have that capability. You can still sign up on Chelsea. Chelsea will be available for this season for people that are not maybe that handy with the app yet. So we'll be encouraged to use it. Any other signups, if you want to play Wednesday at 12:30 shotgun, you still go to Chelsea. You will not go to the Golf Genius app. It's only for tournaments, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's how that would be.
Charlie?
Yes.
Is there a desktop version of this app?
Yes, there is. Yes. And anyway, we ask you all to be very patient with us because this is an interesting program to learn. It's a bit quirky to set up. The few of us that are the managers of it have been through some training. You have to have 2 web browsers open in order to move things over in one and one is the other in creating the events. So we started the 1st of October in the training, and we'll continue our training through the year. We have another training on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pat Hawes and I will be attending that one. I went to move everybody's name and email and PIN number for the women over. So I dragged it across. It only took 7 minutes and cut off all the emails, but their GIN number was there. And I'm like, wait a minute. So we got to work through some of these little quirky things, but it'll get going. Your managers are Steve Ekstrand, Julian Baldwinson, Patricia Hobbs, and myself. So we'll be working on that. And if you have any questions or problems, just call Pat. Don't call me. Don't call Steve. Don't call just call Pat. That's our phone. So I mentioned that, yeah. Yeah, so she's been loading the Tuesdays in the Tuesday games that Sue Ketchum has put together for the rest of the season. And she's been doing that, and we've been testing each other, sending us to get the request, So we're slowly getting there, and it's kind of working out. Upcoming events: the Memorial Tournament will be November 11th. It's a 4-person scramble, and it's open to all MLCC members who have a legitimate handicap. Please sign up on Golf Genius or Chelsea. Right now, both of them, again, we're working with. This tournament honors all the members that have died during the past season. Lunch will follow the tournament. And a reminder for all WGA ladies, we'll be having a meeting there after our releases on that day for all of the WGA members. Before I go on to the next event, I want to actually say kudos to Brian and Emily Brooke.
Thank you.
Yep. They were part of a group of people trapping a dog.
Tracking, not trapping.
Oh yeah, trapping or tracking. That too. We were tracking and trapping at the same time. But there was a dog for the last couple of weeks going out roaming around. He lived at the condos there for a while on the lawn and tried to get close and get up and move. Then one day the sprinklers came on and drenched us all, heat off. But he finally got caught, and Emily and Brian graciously opened up our house to him. His name is Kane because he was during the Hillary.
It was short for hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah.
Our other dog is Havoc.
Yes. But he doesn't like cats. So they have 2 cats. So they've been putting it out, and I've been looking at rescues. Loving All Animals is full. Because the last dog I brought down there is a big dog, and we're sort of full with big dogs. So anybody interested in this beautiful husky, gorgeous, big, beautiful blue eyes.
I am going to cry when he leaves our house. He is such a sweetheart.
So if you know, I put word out to different rescues in Southern California, husky rescues, and problem is during COVID, everybody stayed home, work from home. They all got little baby German Shepherd pups and huskies. And then a year later, they found out they turned into dogs. And they were like, what happened to that cute little puppy. So MLCC has become a dump site lately. You have noticed we have had a lot of dogs dumped here because they know they'll probably take them in. So we've had some issues with that, which leads me into, and again, thank you so much for stepping up to the plate, and hopefully we'll find King at home.
Thank you.
December 1st is an outside tournament benefiting Loving All Animals. It's on Friday. I have here the flyer. The theme is spaghetti and no balls. So guess what that's about. The cost for outside players is $150 per person. For members, it's $100, and that includes 3 different kinds of classes: a salad and a lunch. There'll be hole-in-one, lots of sponsors. I have sponsor sheets here too, guys. And we'll have some cups up here too. So Linda BG, some of you may know who she is. She's sort of a fixture here in the valley. She's been here forever. And she started Loving All Animals way back when. So she'll be here for the lunch part of it, and your Patrick Evans will be here, and John White is semi-committed at this point to playing the tournament also. So I encourage members to sign up. It's tax deduction. You can also sponsor at $250, 100, 250, and 500. Got those right here too. And for some of you that I sent out an email, some of you got a big blast from me, and the next one will be coming for a lot of other people. What the money will help, whole point of this is to help establish a bus here in the Coachella Valley. And it will be a wellness clinic, vaccine clinic, and a spay and neuter clinic. And it's this huge bus that's being transformed into operating rooms and the whole yes. It's available next month on the western part of Riverside County, and we should January sometime will be the Coachella Valley. So we'll be offering all of that, and to help the animal population, because the puppies are just coming in. The number now just increased. 84% of kittens and puppies are being Riverside County. There's just not enough. And 64% of dogs like Kane would be put down. So those are the latest figures that are coming in since January. So I encourage you to, you don't play golf, you want to come for lunch, we got a special rate for that. You want to sponsor, please do. I'll be bothering a lot of you. You've seen me do this before. You know how I am. I like to come to you and ask. So there you go. Last but not least, December 1st and 3rd, since it'll be a little close, is the MGA member. And on that December 1st in the afternoon, after the Loving All Animals tournament, they will have a horse race, and then Saturday and Sunday is their tournament. The following weekend will be the women's, just Saturday and Sunday, the WGA tournament. And that game is Santa's Paws and Claws. So you can kind of get where I'm going with that. First Tee has requested, which is great, and we hope to get them, is to have a tournament here. So this will help encourage not only the kids to come play our course and have their tournament here, but it also brings the parents who will hopefully come and say, hey, we have a great restaurant, we have a great golf course, maybe we need to play here. So we're looking at the June 1st, somewhere around there, but I'm giving you board members a heads up that the golf committee is all in favor of this. And as soon as you guys have a chance to go through it, it'll probably be next month that you'll vote on it. But we're going to tell David to kind of put it not quite in stone, but close enough.
Okay. Did you want to, do you need a motion to change the?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I do need a motion to change the closer tournament. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's now going from April 13th, April 13th to
March 30th.
We had it March or April 13th, and some of the snowbirds said you usually start to leave around the 1st. So can we have the closer tournament on March 30th? So we want to make a motion.
Day before Easter.
The day before Easter?
Mm-hmm.
Just the day. Okay.
Yeah,
We're okay.
It is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Make the motion to approve changing the MLCC, excuse me, closure golf tournament from April 13th to March 30th.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion's carried. All right.
Susan?
thank you.
Susan, I'd just like to make a,
Yes.
There you go, Larry. You got your piece, Larry. Oh, yeah.
The first time.
Okay, our next,
Susan? Susan, hold on.
yes,
Just a clarification on the junior golf stuff. Mike McFall, he's the director of First Tee. He's who we're dealing with on this, and he wouldn't mind. He did last year hold a small First Tee clinic here, and he'd like to do that again, I'm sure. But what we're talking about with dates is a tour stop for the U.S. kids. It would be an actual golf tournament on the U.S. kids tour down here, which is one of the more active U.S. kids tours in the entire country. And you get some national level players playing in that, including our own Brandon Pelham.
great. Well, that sounds really good. Thanks, Steve. Okay, so our next committee is Greens Committee. And we have Jack with the report.
Welcome back. Well, we did meet in October. October is historically a slow month. Maintenance staff, everybody's getting ready. Opening day and stuff, so just like they are, we're looking forward to opening day. I have not been looked at the course from the road, but it's sure looking pretty nice. We did the same thing we did last year with the limited overseeding and attempting to brown the areas around. Raphael's going to spend a little more time in those brown areas, which might make it even look a little sweeter, which is good. The other one is we're working on coming year projects that we have in front of us, the ones that we put in the reserve budget. Once those are approved, looking at those, trying to set priorities, things of that nature. We're also concentrating on next year's turf recovery. That would be our third year that the turf recovery started. Raphael feels as of now that we're making good progress, but he needs more materials. We put that in our budget request. So materials, and I'll bring it up, but we're not sure. It's possible hole closures depending on how bad it is in some areas. So we'll wait for that. I just want to give you an idea that we're looking at all the options possible to finish up by next year. But if not, we may go another year, which really doesn't hurt season. It's more in the summertime. And the other thing is beware of the gators in the lake. Do not approach the gators in the lake. Hopefully they're swimming around. I haven't seen them yet either, but I thought it in with a little laugh. Hopefully the ducks will like it.
They did.
Thank you.
One duck was sitting on the carpet.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was a fairly inexpensive buy, so we at least tried something.
It's a fake gator.
they're fake gators.
Oh my God,
They
I
thought they
love
were going to scare them. Thank you, Jack, so much.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, and the next committee is House Committee, and right now it's missing its liaison since we don't have Mr. Stanley with us. So I need a motion.
Yeah, motion to approve Susan Rumsauer as liaison to the committee.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, so I will be your new liaison, and we don't have Jenny, but
Yeah, she came here yesterday and said she wouldn't be able to make it, but I'll help with Phil. You know, so we finished up on painting in the dining room clubhouse bar area. But, you know, basically, I think we got rid of the wallpaper. I think things look a lot better. So these chandeliers are in. They'll be being put in on Monday. We have the new chandeliers for the dining room to be put in. You'll notice we have new carpet in the offices. The new flooring in the multi-purpose room should be done today. And there's new flooring in the gym. So we sort of hope we'll have that all done before next week in the opener and all that good stuff. But we still have a lot of work to do, but there's a lot of good things happening around here. So that's basically from the house committee.
good, great. Thank you very much.
And it looks
Rick.
good up here.
Looks nice.
Rick.
Rick?
Eric, is there any plans to use the same brown that's on the trim and on the doors on these beams?
Yeah.
Please don't.
Please don't.
We'll bring it up at the next house.
We already know what we want.
Moving.
The house.
That'll be brought up at the next House Committee meeting. Members Communication Committee, Sam?
Sandra?
Everybody. We had our meeting a week or so ago. We had a very lively meeting, a lot of discussion. Susan was kind enough to sit in because we were a little short of a quorum. So Susan became a voting member at our meeting, and I think added a great deal of good conversation for what we were doing. I want to start by saying, first of all, most of you, but not necessarily all of you, know that Erin has left MLCC. So there's a change in the member relations office, and now it's Maddie, and most of you might know Maddie from service. So far, she is doing amazingly well, I have to say, because right now is the big newsletter time and a lot of things going back and forth. She's done a really nice job with emails and things that are coming, so I'm really pleased to see how quickly she's stepped in and got going, because it's obviously a really busy time. Not to mention that a bunch of the offices were torn up for a few days, and they were really working under difficult. Yeah, she was an excellent waitress, a lot of fun. She helped me when my golf cart stopped. She found Eric for me to take me home and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a nice addition to the office, and I hope we're all going to enjoy working with Patty as well as Cynthia. Erin was great, and I think she's going on to something good for her, and that's great. We've made a couple of changes in how we're contacting new members as they come in. I mentioned it last month. As escrows are closing, I am getting notification of the escrow, the name of the people, and an email address, and we're sending out generally within about 3 or 4 days of when they close escrow. We're sending them a new member welcome, telling them about the Facebook page, about the app, about various kinds of things, the newsletter, the menus, a little bit about all kinds of things so that they can get involved more quickly. I've gotten a few emails back from them thanking for that information. In fact, I sent one forward to Cynthia, Maddie, and Laura, because this one lady's going, I'm in Idaho, I'm not here yet, how do I pay my dues? You know, and I did call her and have a bit of a conversation with her and brought her up to speed on how things are going. She's from the condos and is coming down with her family in December. But again, it was an immediate and quick contact, and I sent an email to Cynthia, Maddie, and Laura, to somebody to get in touch with her exactly how she can manage that process. Actually, until they come in here, they don't have a member number in their hand, so that makes it a little difficult. When the new members are coming into the office to sign in and take their picture and get their card, among other things, they are filling out a form similar to that update that we sent out, that Sue Ketchum was part of, that we sent out last spring, about the things that you're interested in participating in, whether it's golf, whether it's tennis, whether it's karaoke, whether it's exercise, etc. And what's going to start happening, I think, effective immediately, is a copy of that form where somebody has checked off what they might be interested in will go into the member communication mailbox, and I'll distribute it to the committee or the chair person involved so that they can make a contact right up front. So that's something we're trying as well. We were hoping at the season opener, and Eric, I'm not sure where we are on this, to have something for the new members to sort of gather about. Again, the offices were all and the computers were disconnected, so I don't know if we've been able to reach out to new members yet.
I think the idea was to have a couple tables at the casino night where new members, we put balloons or something just to let them know we're still planning on that.
Okay. As I said, with the computers being disconnected for a day or two, it's a little hard to get information going. We're also announcing that we're going to start doing a quarterly mixer or meet and greet for new members that we're going to put invitations out for. We're hoping for the first one to be on November 16th, have 1 or 2 or 3 or how many committee chair people, club chair people, board members who would like to come in. A short, hi, how are you? Here's who we are. I think Eric is working on a presentation about MLCC again, as soon as we can possibly get people involved. I know this is an ongoing thing. I will tell you that it is difficult as a new member. I've been here a couple of years. It's difficult to get yourself, if you're not a golfer especially, to get yourself involved in various organizations and such. Some are more receptive than others. On that note, Maddie sent out an email yesterday or the day before to all club and committee chairs or leaders saying, we'd like to highlight you in the newsletter. We'd like to see if you're looking for new people. How can we help you reach out for new people? Just something, again, one more way to try. The announcement banner on the front page of the website is being maintained on a generally weekly basis with closings and changes and such, so that's a place to take a look. The comment card, as we mentioned a little bit ago, has been updated on paper and will be updated on the website. Let's see. We're verifying still the roster. The roster is better, but I think there's still a couple little clicks. On the roster in the office, everything is complete. On the roster, when you look it up on your app or through the website, you do have the option of hiding information. Some of you don't want your birthday showing. Some of you don't mind the birthday, but you don't want the birth year showing. Can't imagine why. Some of you prefer not to have your email showing. There are different, now remember, if you hide, the more information you hide, the less involved you are going to be in the community when people look for you or want to say, oh, I met you at the restaurant and I want to get in touch with you. So do balance that with your privacy concerns, but do take a look at how you are listed in the roster. If you make an edit, it goes to the member relations office for a kind of an approval check mark to make sure that everything's okay. Because it also edits to a certain extent in the Jones system. Again, asking club and other chair members whether they want to be involved in newsletter to some extent, and that's the membership communication.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sandra.
Sure. Do you think you'll get the large majority of the escrow closing? Because that's a new thing I've heard.
Laura lets the member relations office know, because the member relations office sends out a packet of information to the new.
So escrow is giving us that.
So as Laura closes the escrow, because that's a function on her end, that's how we know the escrow closes.
Good.
And that triggers paperwork from member relations to the members. And it also tells them how they have to get their original grant and unique grant stamp on the back and all this. That red stamp. I did call the Riverside office on that, and I got the smoothest way through their website. And I have 2 screen prints now, screenshots. Do that. And I sent that to the lady yesterday in Idaho.
Kudos for doing that.
Yeah, again.
Or we can get owner involvement.
Owner involvement and just about renters knowing or not knowing. I have a renter on my block who lived here 2.5 years and didn't know they could come up to the restaurant. Yeah, this
Okay, thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you.
And our next committee is COPS. Mr. Larry.
Anyways, Larry Carview, Captain of our Citizen Patrol. I'm sure you probably have seen that our patrol car has not been around for the last couple of weeks. Anyway, the sheriff department has changed their rules, and now the patrol car has to be located at their facility in Palm Desert at times through the night. So, and the policy now is we need 2 people in the patrol car at all times to go pick it up and to drive it at any time. Has to be 2 people patrolling. Anyway, they've changed the rules, and anyway, it's kind of pretty sad to do after all we did now, after 11 years and 7 months, almost 190,000 miles we put on. And anyway, we're still working with the other committees, COPS committees, Thousand Palms and Sky Valley and Desert Edge. We're all in the same boat. And we're setting up a meeting probably next week. I've been working with them to see if we can't put together something with some of our members here and see if we can go forward to the sheriff department, see if we can make some changes here to get this thing back to where we have our patrol car where we, like we've had it. And Pardon me?
Do they supply the gas?
Yes, they always have supplied the gas. I turned over the credit card and keys, about 2 weeks ago. They come and picked it up. And so that means if we we have to go patrol, that means 2 people gotta go pick it up. And there has to be 2 people in the patrol car at all times. If we take it back to the patrol car, back to the station, 2 people have to be in it. So it's really an inconvenience. Just a second, Fred, just a second. Okay? Go ahead now.
Did they give you any reason for this?
That's it. The volunteer force unit, they said this thing had been written for some time and they're just now enforcing it. So, anyway. That's not very good, but anyway. So, anyway,
Can we keep it at our substation?
we're looking at, talking to our officer Stacy, our rep that we work with about if we could, make the patrol car back at 5 o'clock when they close the gates. So we're looking at, trying to get this so we can bring it back later at night. Because we'll have access to the gate and the gate, but then, anyway, we're still working on it, so it's not a dead issue, but it's not very good right now, so.
They can't consider our substation here part of it?
No, it's, they want the car there and at, behind their gated, gates or there. So.
I know, it's
Yeah. Anyway, so, nothing good to report, except that, hopefully we'll get back. Not very good news to report. That's what it is.
Thank you very much, Larry. We appreciate it. Uh-huh.
I am sealed. And it is only Riverside that's making this decision. So it would sure be fantastic if every spring. Oh, not collectively from the board, but said how valuable. Excellent. And how valuable that car is sitting there. Oh, it should go right to the we'll get it, we'll get an address. Yeah, contact us. That's the because coming from all the residents should be a statement. And the other thing is, think about this. All of the communities that are looked after by Riverside throughout the state are going to be in the same position, and they're not going to see people volunteering anymore. That's going to have a huge impact. And their push the last 3 years has been community based. So we're taking a big step back. And we are paying for our own gas to drive the pump out of here. So sure the gas is in COP card, but our own personal.
Yeah, this that if anybody's for it, to be enforced. It's up to the client, yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Okay, next committee is Pool and Rec, and I'm sure Eddie has a report for us.
I don't think I need to use this. I'm not sure it's working all well anyway. A couple of things. First off, the annual craft fair. We've got, as of this past Tuesday, we had 26 spots that we're committed to. That's pretty good for where we're at right now. And 19 is paid up in full, so that's better yet. We expect that we'll probably get the 30 vendors that we need to have a full house within the next week. So I'm very happy about that. And Annie Hester, who is serving as a manager for this event, she's done a great job. I will ask Brian, we have our new guy, Brian Babcock, right? Right. If we can get himself maybe or a couple of his staff to help us on that Sunday to unload the vendors' cars like we have in the past, I'd appreciate that very much. And secondly, we have the Making Spirits Right program that we've done the last couple of years. Miss Tonya Reed has spearheaded this, and we're gonna start this next week. And I have some difficulty in getting anybody to volunteer manage this program. So I promised my wife, Peggy, I'd give her some brand new shiny stuff, and she would take this assignment on. And she would really do it. So, of course, I know to renege too on those promises. I think this is a very important program because it'll be for the Marine families of 29 homes. And as I said in the past, 40% of our service members would be eligible for public assistance. And that's a heck of a note. You know, these guys are serving in our military and they can't afford a Christmas gift for their children. So I would ask all of you, and I know they will be getting out to the membership for people that will want to participate in this program. And we'll send out details about this probably by the end of next week, but I'll leave that up. So I think that'll take care of that. You mentioned the new flooring in the downstairs. I think that's going to be great. Exercise classes have been held outside, so we're good there. Pool looks good. So thank you very much. That's about all I have.
Thank you, Eddie.
Great. Thank you so much, Eddie. Our next one is future planning. And right now, this one is also needs a liaison because it was Mr. Stanley.
I motion to approve Brian Brook as the liaison to the committee.
I
Future
second.
planning.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so Brian, welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna make this quick. Let's see if it can beat Larry's 3 minutes. Future planning, you know, one of the projects we were working on with this family was the handicap access in front of the clubhouse here, to move the handicap parking right out front in front of this entrance. But we put that project out under a design build concept. We received 2 bids and they were, anyways, one was extremely low and one was extremely high. And the problem I had with the bids that both parties excluded the design and the survey. So what's the purpose of the design build if they have to provide design? So then Eric and I were talking and we went out to 3 firms looking for design proposals to design the project for us. And essentially the response was, we're too busy or possibly the project's too small. So right now we're going to be talking, committee's going to start talking about hiring a surveyor to do the topographic survey required to even begin the design. And once we have that topographic survey, which essentially has built existing contours and the existing vegetation curves, asphalt, then we can actually begin a design, and hopefully get this project going again. Another topic we've been discussing is handicap access to the pool. Now I understand, I do know that we did put handicap ADA bathrooms out there with handicap access to the pool. But none of that access, we don't have any access from the pool or the end to the clubhouse, unless we travel up Clubhouse Drive. So, we looked at fixing that elevator, and Eric wasn't able to get anybody to come out and look at it. And, the elevator hasn't worked in 20 years. So I don't think we need to pursue that. So we're looking at putting ramps in, handicap ramps, similar to what's right up front of the store here, to not only the end, but also to the pool. And we've looked at the specifications for the county of Riverside. They have a standard specification on it that the slope can be no greater than 1 inch to 12 inch. Otherwise, they've already got the handicap ramp detail. So it's going to be a simple thing to get through the city of the county of Riverside. Okay, the septic to sewer conversion project. The plans on this project are essentially complete. This is information given to me by Mission Springs Water District. The plans are essentially complete.
And now they're strictly working on the project specifications. And by the end of the year, my understanding, they could put this project out to bid, but they don't have the funding. So until they have the funding, there's no more progress.
So all I was gonna say was when I was crying up when we got denied on the septic tanker failed and all that, and I did a lot of crying with the water board and all that. So she reached out to Mission Springs Water District, they told her it's anywhere from 2 to 10 years. So I didn't need to hear that, but didn't help our cause, but.
Unfortunately, our vote we had in 2018, we only have until 2029 to get it done, or we gotta start ground zero. So, but on the same side, we're trying to get the plans, a copy of the plans, so we can figure out how we're gonna connect this clubhouse and how we're gonna connect the end, because they're two different systems. And once we get that information, we'll determine the connection points, and then we can start working on the cost of the connection and get that funding request to the board so we can get included in the future. Okay, the last one, and I've read a lot of comments on Facebook about this, and it's mainly people are not informed, and that is that we're talking about the sand wedge and the pro shop expansion and remodel. Now, this project is being explored as a part of a strategic plan to upgrade the clubhouse. Several years ago, we did extensive plans on this upstairs renovation of the clubhouse. I think there were a little over 40, close to $50,000 for the plans, and it died because it was just there was no strategic plan to go with it. And we're looking at the downstairs from the standpoint that before you touch anything upstairs, you have to have a place for the upstairs to go, and that is downstairs in the sandwich, the bar downstairs, along with the pro shop expansion. We sent out several questions to the staff, and we've got some pretty good responses on it. And with that said, we're going to have a joint future planning and House Committee meeting on November 7th to do nothing but discuss this project. And the reason the House Committee and future planning, they're the two committees that have how do we want to say common area jurisdiction or jurisdiction to recommend to the board and the general manager the needs of the common areas. So with that said, that's my report, and November 7th will
I'll be there.
Hopefully get a start and a timeline on this project. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
May not be, it may be a question for her, so I don't know. But last time Mission Springs was out here, they indicated that they had 25% of their funding secured.
Yeah.
We were 50% already secured.
Yeah, no,
Now they've lost all their funding?
No, they haven't lost it, I guess they just haven't confirmed it, I guess. I mean, I think they thought they had some funding coming in. All I'm saying is I turned the water board on them, and that's what they gave me for feedback. And I was hoping they were going to say, "Oh yeah, we're a year or two out, so go with the septic tank that we have there." But
They came and did a town hall meeting here with all their. You weren't here yet.
no, that's the one he's talking about because I was there. Yeah.
You're there, and
Yeah.
they were saying, they were saying that they had a portion of it, but it would go out based on how much money they had versus how much a particular area would cost. That they would assess it to apportion it to where it fits in terms of that, and that's probably why.
But they did tell the water board that didn't help my cause. But anyways, so we're getting closer.
Okay, well, I just want to thank all of the committees and all of the chairs. Thank you so very much for all your hard work and putting together your reports and being here at the meetings. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay,
Susan, before you adjourn, there could be discussion of filling Dave Stanley's position. Has that decision been made?
That decision has been made, and the board is not going to fill Mr. Stanley's position at this time.
But you're going to wait for the election.
Yes. Moving on to old business. And the only thing that we have right now on old business is a motion to approve the food minimum with adding alcohol as recommended by the Finance Committee.
You tabled that. I don't think you meant to, but we take you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did not mean to table that
The
one.
only one we really have is to approve the 2024 drill.
Okay. I thought, okay, because I thought we needed to get that one done today in order for it to start on November 1st. Okay. Then is there any other new old business?
We do the trail fees.
That will be under new business. So we need to have a motion to approve the 2024 trail fees to be the same as the 2023, no raise.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve cart and trail fees for 2024 to remain same as 2023 part of budget process.
Second that.
No, the motion is that they remain the same. And it has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Okay, motion carried. Trail fees will remain the same. Is there any other new business?
Yeah, I'd like to bring up, if we can ask the board, our next board, session will be on November 18th. I would like to ask the board if we could have a special board of directors meeting, maybe Tuesday of that week to finalize the budget.
Okay.
And I'm saying Tuesday, could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, I'll send an email out, but basically to get it to the printers, get it out by the end of the month, we just want to be safe. And since we're pretty darn close on that budget number and where we're at, I was gonna ask if we just move that meeting to, although the November 18th, the biggest thing would be the budget, but I mean, for the most part, if we could do it, special board meeting, do it then.
That's the agenda meeting anyway, is that? Oh, yeah.
We could do it on that day, yeah. So that's why I threw out Tuesday. But
We can do that.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my comment would be that if we do it that way, we should put out in public what the recommendation is that we'll be voting on, just so there's transparency there, that nobody feels that we're trying to sneak it under, the members at a lightly attended meeting. That's all.
Okay. We can do that.
And can we ascertain a date certain right now?
I was looking at that Tuesday, hit the board agenda meeting for that week. That would be 13th, 14th.
Is it the 14th?
Yeah, the 14th.
Okay, so
November 14th.
November 14th.
Is that at 3 o'clock?
I'm gonna be on a flight.
You'll be
that
on
would be at 1:30.
That's your agenda.
Well, but you'll be back by the
1:30.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay, Jack?
Are those dates after the finance committee meeting in November? I take it?
Yeah, the finance committee meeting is the next day. So we'll have to have a budget meeting, emergency budget meeting or before.
Exactly.
We should have an emergency meeting to approve it, then send it to the members for their awareness. Which is what you kind of said, but I didn't know what the date. Okay, so we're gonna have a special. Thank you.
It's going to be a really busy week because we are moving the board meeting up to the 18th so that it's not on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It'll be easier for everybody to be able to attend it because a lot of people go out of town for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So that week will be very busy. Okay, if there's nothing else, anyone? We have a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Drawing.
Oh, drawing. Do we have? Okay, pick a number.
13.
The number's 13.
Don't pick the number.
I don't have.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, Sam's got to stop picking it then.
The number is 13. Oh, Sue Ketchum got it. I don't have it. They didn't. Did they make it?
I'm chasing after you, actually. I said I was chasing after you.
Thank you.
So I think we can all work together. ACC wants a list of non-owner occupied homes.
I think we all can work on that together.
Right, so I put together one. I was able to pull from title all the ones that have a different mailing address. I'm putting it on the Google Doc. So the easiest way, we're gonna need some slightly tech savvy people.
Sure.
But then we can make, it's a flipping doc, so we can have 15 people on it literally all at the same time, and then it has, the ACC can update it when they know something.
The other thing I'm saying, Brian, for example, one of the closed was, I make ABCL 6 I'm going to 95%. That's going to be French.
Okay.
Because for the most part, if you're going to be buying this business, you're probably.
It'll.
You may be in a bit. I have one quick thing. So I have to be on the Can we talk about
See, my daughter also has a dog, and she had a rescue a couple of years ago. He would have taken her.
Okay, that's.
You know, so he lives lovely. I think we got it along with my daughter's. He left. Yeah,
Absolutely. So, you know, if you know, HCL, you buy a house, I know probably have this is buy your house as well as like my house. Pardon me?
I have,
And you
not
may-
my personal house. No.
And you may be renting back to yourself.
I don't do that. But you're right. If it's bought under an
So I'm
LLC.
assuming, I've been disappointed.
So I can pull all of that. I know who the owners are. I pulled the data that I have. I put title, direct access to title, so it'll show who the owner's name is. And if it's under an entity, clearly, you know, it's
The likelihood of
possibly.
the likelihood of
So the purpose for you obviously is to get emails from renters. For the ACC, they want to know, am I talking to
Right. No, absolutely. Happy to help with it.
Cool.
Happy to help with it. My roommate Carrie is also very savvy as much.
So when I say tech savvy, there's just not people who don't even pick up a computer. So.
My first computer I had in my house, my son was like 2 years old, and we had a Radio Shack that you plugged into the TV, and it was almost like an 8-track program. Computers all over. No problem.
I used to write code.
I did, and I learned Google because I didn't know Google Docs. I retired before Google Docs came something that I,
Well, that's all I use.
I'm learning, but I have to learn it.
It's basically just Excel.
Exactly. I started on Lotus. That's how old I am. Lotus 1, 2, 3 almost made me lose my mind.
I was hoping I could have help with this because the ACC really wants it, and I know I'm not sure whoever there's really.
Kyle is also good for you.
Okay.
Kyle's a neighbor of mine.
Okay. Is he on ACC?
He's on ACC.
Okay.
And he does. He's computer literate by far. He's at the corner. I'm on Sanderling. He's at the corner of Sanderling and Warwick. He's on ACC. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, now we have November, December. I know.
We're gonna do just real quick little chat right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys, if you look around, we're just do a real quick executive.
I just had my text. I don't think we're doing executive. Nobody was really moving.
Oh.
Anyways, they're still there.
It's only a
Can
minute.
you guys hear me?
We're just got one thing.
Yes, but there's people in there.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
We're not clear yet.
Okay, no worries.
I tell you guys, we're going to have to figure out the
Please leave the room. We're doing a little executive session.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. That's okay, Jack. Thank you.
The Facebook live feed never showed up.
Yeah, I went online to see if I could find it. I couldn't find it at all.
one of the things I wonder about is if Cynthia can see it on her computer because she's coming from the general manager account and it was not shared for public sharing or the proper share setting.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it shows that it's working, but then the message that everybody's getting is that it's not being shared.
Yeah, I just didn't see it at all. I went through all the places I could click. There might be a live event, and I didn't see anything at all. Otherwise, the page looks pretty nice. So I have the feeling this is the same thing that happened to me and Sam the other day. You and I are in the waiting room or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
Oh no, I think they just muted. They muted the Mission Lakes host is muted,
Okay.
but we're all still active.
I muted us over here. We had people in the room.
Oh, I have to end the
Okay.
whole.
Hey, so we have to end the board meeting and get you guys out. We have to have you re-sign in on the same Zoom.
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to just go kick it old school and call?
We can just call you too if you want.
Yeah, you can call me.
Yeah, I can do that.
On the
Sure.
on the 805 number, please.
It's just really short. There's just
Why
one
can't I
thing we
open
want
this?
to
Oh,
chat about.
Yeah, we have to end this so that we can then have a recordable thing that we can